Hello everyone, it's Davide here and welcome back to Learning Finance. In today's video guys, I want to talk about Tesla stock. We have seen in the last basically 15 days that the stock has had a very nice pullback actually. It went from the 900 level of the 25th of January to basically 619 with a drop which is almost 33%. So is today the right price to buy Tesla, add more to your position or not? Can it go even lower? So in today's video, I just want to give you my personal opinion, which obviously they can be right or wrong. Just my opinion. I'm gonna show you some numbers trying to understand what the fair price of the company could be and what the market is expecting right now. So the only thing I ask you is please leave me another like, it's very important and I thank you for it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new updates. Let's begin. So let's go over the Excel spreadsheet and let's start with the first valuation that I did on Tesla stock. Now, you have probably seen that in my previous video. Basically, this is, in my opinion, a conservative valuation for Tesla, which, by the way, gives me confidence. So the more I remain conservative, the more confident I am about a price. Anyway, that's a valuation that I have done with EV to EBITDA and EBITDA margins. Why I didn't do a free cash flow, full free cash flow? Well, because we don't have much history about Tesla profitability. So I think that an EBITDA valuation makes more sense in this case. In 2020, we have just seen that Tesla made $31.5 billion, and the growth, despite the pandemic, so that's impressive, is 28.31% compared with 2019. Incredible enough, we have had a decent spike in EBITDA margin from 2019, despite the virus, right? A full year of virus, basically. So that's positive as well, from 8.85 to 13.39%. Obviously, a part of it is given by government grants. We don't know for how long those grants will be given to Tesla going on in the future, but we hope that Tesla, from now on, it will start to scale, right? After they have finished to build all the gigafactories and stuff, because they spent a lot over the last 5 years basically to build the infrastructure itself. Anyway, for 2021, analysts' expectations are around 48 billion, and that would be a spike up of more than 50%, right? 52.33 in terms of revenue growth. When it comes to EBITDA margin, I have put basically that Tesla will start to scale them. Reaching around the 22 levels in basically 5-6 years time. The idea here is that with Robotaxi software especially, where the idea of Elon to actually add the software revenues, so the efficiency of a software business to an automotive business, which historically have very low margins. I remained pretty conservative. I could have put even more than that. Right, but as I told you, that's my conservative scenario. And the growth basically remained around the 30% level, above the 30% level until 2024, and then going down a bit, right? Anyway, always above 25% until 2028. If you do an average of this, it's around a 3% growth over the next 7 years, which is impressive. When it comes to the end, we have the EV to EBITDA, and I put a 16x. Now, this, in my opinion, if they are able to do the software part especially, it's a kind of a very low EV to EBITDA margin. Now, just to compare, I know that they are not the same, but in terms of profitability, they can be somehow compared. Tesla to Amazon. Because Amazon, it has been another business with a huge growth in terms of revenue, but in terms of profitability, the margin has always been pretty low. And as of today, Amazon is trading at a 31x EV to EBITDA. So for Tesla, I said 16 in 2028. That's conservative, but it makes sense, right? To not just go on and put huge numbers. I just want to be confident with this one. So that will gives us an enterprise value of almost $1 trillion basically in 2028, because when we add cash minus debt, 15 billion estimated. Total market cap is just above, so 1 trillion point 009. And when it comes to the discount rate, 10%, shares outstanding today are 960 million, and that will be the fair price today, so $514.55 per share for Tesla. In my opinion, is the confident price, as I explained to you in my previous video, is the price where I will feel confident to actually buy more. That's why I didn't buy the full position at 650. Let's go on with a more speculative valuation, trying to understand what the market is pricing today. And in order to do that, basically what I did, I have considered the first thing, deliveries, and I put the Elon Musk's idea, right? So his idea in interviews at the earnings call for 2021, they asked, the full capacity is around 800,000 vehicles. Can you do those amounts of deliveries in 2021? And he said he was pretty confident about that, right? So to be around 800,000 vehicles delivered. So that would be a 60% increase from 2020, which was the year of the pandemic. So that kind of explosion can be justified, right? Then his idea of an average of 50%, going on to have around 4 million vehicles in 2025. That's what he said. When it comes to that, actually we have to, now this is the last 10K that Tesla released. When we go over there, we see that they have the Fremont factory, which is active, the Gigafactory in Shanghai active, and now they are finishing the Gigafactory in Berlin and in Texas, and the TBD, which is the one where they will basically make the Tesla semi-truck and Tesla Roadster. I don't expect those things to come very soon, right? At least 2023, 2024. Anyway, they are still in development, but my analysis actually goes until 2025. So I have considered them as a success in that year. So basically, the first business part of Tesla, which is obviously the automotive part with deliveries, that's it, 4 million by 2025, as explained by the model. The average cost per vehicle now is around $40,000. I put it down because I think that if they really want to go to the masses, they will probably try to make a car which costs a little bit less than $30,000. So on average, $34,000. In my opinion, it makes sense. Just from the deliveries, this will be the revenue, right? If this Musk's idea, guidelines, it will become true, of $137 billion in revenue from cars by 2025. Now, here it comes the magic, because we have seen most of all two big personalities, right? The first one is Chamath. He went on in an interview by basically saying that the energy part of Tesla will disrupt the old energy business as we understand it. It will be probably, it could be bigger than the automotive one. And that's basically what Elon said as well in an earnings interview as well, that the energy part, basically they didn't spend much money in it back in like 2015 because they had to work a lot on Tesla automotive business because they were running out of money and they needed a product ready, right? Because otherwise they would have gone bankrupt. But now the situation is different and they have started to work a lot on it. Plus, we have on the other side Cathie, which is very bullish about the Robotaxi environment of Tesla. Basically, she's saying that Tesla has the most amount of data. Hence, it will be the only company which has the real potential to actually develop Robotaxi and autonomous driving for real, right? Going on in the future, because with this AI technology, you need data. More data you have, better it is, and basically the one that they have the most amount of data is Tesla, without any doubts. Now, in this valuation, basically what I said is that together with the vehicle stuff, we have these two business divisions. Now, just remember what that means. For example, 2020, the energy generation and storage segment just made 2 billion, right? What I am saying here is basically that the two parts, so the Robotaxi part plus the energy part, they will add another 70 billion by 2025. That would be basically a total revenue of $207 billion in 2025. Considering the scaling part, because Tesla decided they're aiming to reduce costs, plus the software part of the Robotaxi, it will be very more efficient in terms of margins, right? And Tesla now has around 1.5 net profit, so I said around 9% net profit. This is probably high. Anyway, I just wanted to see how it was by considering this. And when it comes to net income, $18.6 billion. When it comes to shares outstanding, right now they are 960 million. Anyway, I have considered dilution, so I put 1 billion shares outstanding 2025. Those will be the earnings per share. Then I've considered the range of price to earnings ratio from 35 to 70, and those will be the prices in 2025, right? Depending on what price to earnings ratio you consider. With a 10% discount rate, those would be the price of today. So it looks like that right now the market is considering Tesla with that scenario around a price to 55, right, in 2025, price to earnings ratio, because we are around 680, 685. Anyway, what is now the most speculative part? Because if we take a look at what Elon Musk said, he is confident that this basically Robotaxi stuff, he can add the same amount that they are making in vehicles and he can double it, right? He said 50 billion in car sales could price another 50 billion in incremental profit with software margins. Now, that's massive, okay? I don't know whether this can happen or not, but if that is true, then the valuation of Tesla today can be considered as probably cheap. Why I say that? Now, just to make you understand, let's go over there and let's say that instead of 70 billion in this Robotaxi plus energy, he said that they can double the vehicle's revenue, right? So let's just say that both of them together can double it, right? So let's be a little bit more conservative and let's put another $137 billion to the valuation. That basically keeping everything the same. You see how everything changes drastically, and you have that with the 40p ratio of 2025, you have the stock around fairly priced today, right? If the market goes even more on hype, you can have that. Look at those. The stock could be cheap, right? If you consider high price to earnings ratio. Important is to understand how, let's call it speculative, is this scenario here. To basically double the profit, but with software margins. Okay, so that's the idea, and that's basically why the market price actually can be justified today. Now, if we take that kind of scenario, basically the dream scenario for Elon Musk, we have that by adding a 5 price to sales ratio, the market cap in 2025 could be $1.3 trillion. Basically, it could double from where is it today. In my opinion, that scenario here, it's kind of speculative, right? But it's what Elon Musk has in mind. If he's gonna be able to actually achieve that thing, then yes, Tesla today at this price can be a bargain. While when it comes to be confident in terms of myself, me myself being confident buying the stock, the more it gets near $500, the more I get confident. When we go to the graph from the previous video, I have basically drawn to here this buy area. For me, this is the confident buy area on Tesla. Around, basically it goes from 500 to 540, right? It's an area that it makes sense, in my opinion, for the long term. Obviously, I do not expect to become rich with this stock anymore. Money have already been made. But my idea with Tesla was more of a portfolio structure, right? A sort of basically the FANG idea, similar to what FANG had been in the last 10 years, basically, right? While when it comes to 10x stocks, can Tesla still 10x? Guys, I have no idea, but I find it unlikely. Anyway, the market can do everything. My idea is more of a portfolio structure. I think that if Tesla goes down even more than where it is today, around $500 can be a nice long-term buy in terms of making some structure in your portfolio. What is the problem today? The interest yield, right? It's the interest yield. If we see that continues to go higher and higher, the problem is that Tesla will make those profits in like 8 years' time, and the market will probably discount those things at a higher rate, right? Because they are not today. So if the market kind of sense inflations and stuff and interest yield go higher, the fair price will get lower. That's basically just how it is. So we cannot fight that. Anyway, I hope you find the video interesting, guys, and leave me a like and leave me a comment below. Tell me what's your fair price of Tesla, what's your idea, will it go back up? Subscribe to the channel, and as always, guys, have a wonderful day.